So far we've made our way down the east coast, and today we'll be visiting Nagoya, where we'll visit Ghibli Park, then we do a little detour to Ise Jingu. But first, let's bring you Ghibli. We almost missed out on visiting Ghibli Park. We probably only managed to get tickets because it's the middle of winter. When we booked 2 days ago, there were barely any left, and we were only able to purchase the standard pass, not the premium pass. If going by car, arrive early, as the car park does fill up very quickly. Ghibli Park is very open to elements. Winter can be freezing, as we experienced, with snow, and summer extremely hot with not much shade to hide beneath. So one thing you quickly realise is this place is huge. There's a marathon going on at the same time. It reminds me a bit like of Sydney Olympic Park. It's a massive, big complex, and you've got many events or many things going on at the same time, and it just happens to be that Ghibli Park is also within this big complex, so there's quite a lot of walking to do. So there is a bus you can also take, Neko bus, 1,000 yen. So this is the Michino Eki we stayed at in Nagoya. It's Michino Eki Machi Terrace Nishin, and this is the sort of layout. So we parked somewhere over there. You got this big opening space. We got a bit of snow last night. We're leaving Nagoya and we're heading to Mie to visit one of Japan's oldest shrines, Ise Jingu. The weather is very, very windy, and in this box-shaped minivan, you really got to hold the wheel tight. We're only doing about 70 kilometers an hour, but it's getting baffled around. It's like you're fighting the wind. I feel like I'm in a movie where they're just wobbling the steering wheel. Well, even though they're going straight, you know, the steering wheel, you're just like turning it to keep the car going straight. It's whoa, a bit of action. Car got a bit covered in snow. I had to clear the wipers of the ice, and now we're going to have a quick meal in Lawson, because where we're going I don't think there'll be anything open by the time we get there. So a quick meal, and then we'll jump into the onsen. Hopefully it'll still be open. So we've got some soba noodles and had some hot water, but the great thing about these kombinis is you can get hot water and you can heat up your noodles. Obviously you got to buy your noodles from the convenience store, and we've got some sushi, some sandwiches too. We've got a feast tonight. So yeah, and then we'll head back into the car. Not a feast. What you can hear there is the sound of the chains on the bus. So we've arrived at, apparently it feels like -10 degrees, and we're expecting snow to start in the next 27 minutes. It's one of my favorite places so far, out of all the places we've stayed. And we've just come out of the hot spring Itaka no Yu. It was a great hot spring. Yeah, just perfect. I'm also glad we've got full drive mode on this beast because it's like an ice rink at the moment. It's all iced up. That looks smooth and just wet, but that's all ice. So now we're going to check out the Michi no Eki, where we stayed last night. Let's see what they've got. They've got some woodwork. A fine little table. The inside of our van. We need something like this, just on top of the futon to put some drinks down or your bento box while you're eating. So this could do the trick. It doesn't take too much space. 450 yen. Wow. That could do the trick. There's some chopping boards. These are made of hinoki, so they'll give off a nice smell. You got some. I'm not sure you'd probably use these as a vase, I imagine. Biodegradable. Then you've got a donut corner, so they make donuts here. Fresh donuts. It's very cute. Old thongs, the sustainable type. Ooh, and we've got some local veggies. These are sunchokes. These are great, sliced thinly with a bit of garlic on a fry pan. Really healthy. They've got all sorts of tea leaves as well. Apparently this dokudami chai is good to relieve constipation. And this is something that you don't often find in supermarkets. It's konnyaku potato. So you can see they're quite big. And this is what you'll find often in oden. It's like that sort of jelly-like rectangle shaped. I guess you could call it a potato cake or konnyaku. What would you call it, Yuko?
Oden? Konnyaku.
Ah, not nimono. In your oden you'll find konnyaku. Or miso dengaku, that's right. Yeah, miso dengaku, which you're probably more familiar with. It's konnyaku with the miso paste on it. It's made from this potato. So I think it's probably the first time I've seen this. So really interesting. Ooh, over there we've got amazake. So with this is the byproduct of making Japanese sake, nihonshu sake. It's like the skin left over. Instead of throwing it out, you can use it to make amazake. So you'd mix this with water, not sure what the ratio is, and then you can add sugar to make it sweet, but that's what amazake is made from. So from a kilo, ooh, you could probably make, Yuko, from a kilo, how much do you reckon you could make amazake? 5 litres if not more. So yeah, it's you can make it at home. It tastes really good, especially in winter to warm you up. Oh, and I found some konnyaku. So that potato that you saw earlier, from that you make this. There's some more strawberries. We can pass on those. I've had way too many of those in the last couple of days. So we're on our way to Ise Jingu. We just came across a 100 yen store and we're going to make a makeshift cradle for this navigation device. So we've got our Velcro attached to the iPad in the back of the stand and we've just put some double-sided tape on there. After all that, we've got an iPad holder that's holding the iPad up. We'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, all that for 200 yen plus the scissors for 100 yen, 300 yen. We've got an iPad holder. So now we're off to Ise Jingu. Before coming here, I thought Ise Jingu was one shrine, but it's in fact a complex of 125 shrines spread across a sacred forest that dates back to around 2000 years. The two main areas are the Geku, which is the outer shrine, and the Naiku, the inner shrine. Traditionally, you visit the outer shrine before the inner shrine. Naiku is dedicated to Amaterasu Omikami, the sun goddess and mythical ancestor of Japan's imperial family.
Interesting here. I think they've grafted some bark into this tree to protect. I think it's sort of split, and so they've grafted on some bark, and it's sort of grown, sort of meshed into the original bark. I found something interesting in the grounds, an imperial chicken. And often at shrines you'll find offerings of sake.
One thing that amazed me about this place was the fact that every 20 years, the main shrine buildings are dismantled and reconstructed, and they've been doing this for 1,300 years. The rebuilding isn't just religious, it ensures traditional carpentry and knowledge is passed from one generation to the next. It's actually just commencing this year in May and should finish in 2033.
So it looks like the drivers all get treated by the local shops. Ise is also famous for green tea, which we saw on the way here. And you can buy one box, which is about 500 grams of green tea like that, for 1,200 yen, which is, I think, really good value. I think we might get some. So we just bought some of that green tea and it smells really nice in here. So you can see gyu is not cheap, it's $100 for a steak. So it is a real premium beef type in Japan. Tofu donuts. It's a very cute little cafe here, overlooking the river. I found some of my favourite stores, all made using byproducts of other things, all natural, and even kids' toys, little brushes. As we're walking along, I can smell tea being roasted. It smells really nice, and I think I found the source of that. I think it's over here with the roasting tea. Seem to have big chimneys. It's probably a good sign that they're roasting the tea here. So this is the local speciality. It's red bean paste with rice cake underneath. Now pulling into another Michi-no-eki in a place called Hari, and apparently it's the biggest one in Western Japan. Hope there's a couple of restaurants we can find that are still open and willing to have us come in. It's this place. We'll have to just settle for whatever we find first. This'll do. Just walked in and so we've got all these dishes we can choose from, right? And so this is what a relatively late night meal can get you at this Michinoeki. We're about to head off for our bath, which is somewhere over there, the onsen. Oh, and our beer fell out. This is supposed to be our cooler spot. We've already lost one. Stay there. Yeah, please stay. Okay, so hopefully they'll be nice and cold when we come back. Alright. Now I'll head off and find this onsen. We've got to head up the hill through some snow to get to our hot bath and hope that when we do get out of the bath, by the time we get back to the car, we haven't frozen again. Workers here have kindly cleared the path. Back-breaking work doing that. So this should open. Yay! So we'll take off our shoes here. And there's the machines we get tickets. So it looks like you can actually have dinner inside here. So you can have your bath and dinner all in one place. And there's the men and women's onsen. Just finished doing our installation for the night. And we've officially got frost inside the car, so might need to upgrade our double glaze, some triple glaze. I think my lens might have fogged up as well. Let's see what the temperature is inside the car. Ooh, trusty. Oh, you're kidding. -5. Now this wasn't the front dashboard. It's probably a bit lower than where we've got the curtains at the back.